Yeah, when people have said like, "Oh, I'm on like medicine that makes me drowsy" or something like that, I never really like thought too much of it.
But how strong its power was.
Holy shit! After having lived like 5 days, I guess it's only been like 5 days. After only being on like medicine that makes you like super drowsy and out of it for like 5 days,
you just kind of end up like bored and miserable the whole time, and you don't want to be.
Yeah. Oh, it was awful. And then, like, literally demonstrated by me just coming into this stream and being like, I don't think I've played the last time I played video games was this Viscera. And you'd be like, that's not all that long ago. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's both not that long ago. And we played this game last week, which was more recent.
Wow. Yeah. So
of all the reasons
that was a hoot.
Of all reasons that we've missed a session of Satisfactory, somehow you getting like a brain infection didn't register. that didn't clock for us missing a factory day.
You know, that's fine because it goes to show. Dude, let me put it to you this way.
You're just so dedicated to your craft.
There were some days where I was like so like miserable on the medicine that I was tempted to ask you like, hey, can you just open up the Satisfactory server? And just like, I'll just come in, I'll optimize the base, I'll be like a ghost that plays the game
just for something
you won't even know
to do.
I'm there. Just for something to do.
You were so bored you were watching MMORPG streams.
I know.
Mine.
Yours.
Not even good ones.
I know. But anyway,
so you ready to start?
Words. Yeah, then I decided I probably wouldn't trust myself to play Satisfactory and do math while
yeah, no, I would have made it a new save and would not have told you.
Works.
I would have just made it a new save branch so that we could delete it immediately and revert back, and it would just not tell you I was doing that.
Fair.
So
yeah, but I'm all ready to go.
Yeah, I've made some progress since we left off.
Yeah.
I wanted to finish.
What you been doing?
Because I was trying to do. I spent all of last session trying to do the modular frames and didn't even reach that point. So after you left, I at least finished, like threading the building so that the connections are there. But also, I believe
modular frames.
We're not making modular frames yet, but the resources are being sent up there, so I can like I can hook them up later. And also, if you look at the screws floor, it has been revamped again because where we left it was at a bad place.
Yeah, no, this looks pretty cool. The only thing I'm going to call out that I'm concerned about... oh my god, that was just like the most corporate way I could have phrased that.
Yeah.
The only thing that I see that still needs to be done is we have a bunch of iron plate conveyor belts that are lined up but not going anywhere.
Oh yeah, a lot of resources just aren't being spent yet. But that's good. That means we have place. That means we can send them places.
Okay.
Just open my notes back up again.
I'm gonna start by sending some of the the iron plates upwards and onwards, but I don't think I can because they're gonna boop into other existing lifty things. Yeah,
like I believe
that is the thing that's happening.
Yeah, you can just make them go further from the building by another layer.
Oh,
if they're gonna collide.
Smart.
I think I did the math because we were already mathing like what you on your end. You figured out what you needed for screws to fit into the next building, and on the back end, I figured out like, oh, okay, we need 2 rod making machines to fuel 3 screw making machines. That's the ratio.
Yeah.
And so this floor is set up on that ratio, so it's pretty clean. That'll work for now. Okay. Also, if you look up on the horizon, I during the podcast, I was fiddling with the server a little bit, and I realized I found I found where you had the coal track just kind of leading to our base and stopping.
Yeah.
So I led it over there to the water. So when if you look over and see those 7 towers, that's 7 coal burners adding to our power supply.
Oh shit! Nice. I see them.
The coal track went there, and I've continued to put all of our slugs into power. To just milk whatever amount of coal and water is available because both of those dry up pretty quickly. I'm gonna go back to trying to make the frames work.
I liked what you were saying up until you made the pun.
Ha 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 ha. You can't. You have no ground to stand on. I've heard you speak.
That's right, because I'm standing on a belt.
Like you fucking
so
love that
smart.
shit. You can't pretend you don't.
I don't.
You're
what are you doing
relentless.
ascribing emotions to me? You should know that.
If you left unattended, you spontaneously produce puns.
Hey, is this all about just me titling your podcast that I wasn't in?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what you're alluding to right now.
Pulu.
I don't even know what prompted that, right? So I was just watching your stream while on my pain medicine, just doing my high bird thoughts, and something about like Lovecraft popped up, and I was like, Call of Cthulhu. And you were like, well, that's the name of the podcast today.
And Colonel
so
was like,
it was.
we're not using that. And I'm like, you can't come up with anything better. And he couldn't.
I saw that conversation. He was like, I defer to you, Pun Master. And I was like, I want a conversation I wasn't even a part of. Hell yeah.
Such is the power of Cthulhu. But yeah, it came up because you were watching our stream, and we mentioned that we talked about Lovecraft's racism and bidets.
Oh yeah, that's what
that
it
was. Just the topics of the day.
Wow.
Today was a bidet.
I was there in spirit. Nobody can escape me, even if you try.
How did I put this down wrong? God damn it!
Fuck, I'm falling to my death. No, I'm not. That was weird. Well, that's called my death. Yet.
Oh, right, I have to feed it into the back. That wasn't very smart of me.
We're gonna kind of make the iron come over here onto this weird little groovy side platform, and you know, it's not gonna be pretty, and it's not gonna be nice, but it is gonna work, and that's, at the end of the day, you know what they say. Function over form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if it makes me do less work.
Right, exactly.
The most important part of that.
If you wanted this to be done pretty, then you would have hired a graphic designer. Instead, you hired an engineer, so
yeah.
Fuck.
So I guess we all learned something today.
Oh no, these are curvy. Oh no. Okay, hang on. Let me do it that way at least.
I always want to make the base more pretty, but then even when I'm in the middle of trying that, just logistical realities surface, and I'm like, oh, I don't think I can.
Oh,
deep
you
down
can.
inside.
You just don't believe in yourself.
Oh, shucks. You believe in me?
No, I'm trying to be condescending and annoying. Like, oh, you're having a problem? Have you tried kombucha?
Have you tried kombucha? Just as a catch-all solution to, I'm sorry I wasn't listening.
Like, wow, that really sucks. But you know what might help is kombucha. It's like, you know.
My favorite part of your problems is not listening to them.
No, I mean, this last week I was talking about like having to get a root canal and all that stuff, but then I just realized this 5 seconds ago that fuck, all I really needed was some kombucha. That was, oh no, I just jumped off to my death. Oh man, I'll try that. I'll go back in time and I'll try that and I'll let you know how it works.
Why does it take me days to upload a stream? Because multiplayer stuff has a specific place in the schedule, which I repeatedly announce. And that's when that goes up. There's already videos on the other days. Pretty straightforward, actually.
Good.
Question answered. Goodbye. I like to imagine that whenever I answer a question, it's like an outbox, like business. Like they leave. They're gone.
Like they're satisfied by your answer and they'll never come back.
Because that's what streams are for, right? You answer one question and then they leave.
I mean, that's kind of like what AOC's stream was like when she was trying to stream about Wall Street bets, but that was just because of technical issues.
Was it like shutting down over and over again?
Yeah, basically.
Fun.
All right, let's kill that conveyor lift. Let's kill that conveyor
There's
lift.
always a line between like people that are struggling with technical difficulties because boomer, and then people who are struggling because actually technology is really annoying. Like actually,
yeah,
basically everyone struggles.
I think that OBS is also probably one of the least friendly and easy to use pieces of software.
Oh yeah, no.
Ever.
Whenever I have to
mean,
fix
my
something,
God.
it involves a lot of Googling.
Just learning how an encoder works is just nearly impossible. And guess what? You gotta figure it out. You gotta figure it out immediately because encoders they're just gonna be the thing that you deal with for the rest of your life if you're gonna be streaming regularly.
For the rest of your natural life.
Because just when you think you understand encoders, what do you know? They make some new ones. And it's like, this encoder is no longer compatible with your video card or whatever, and then...
Is that a thing you
then
encountered?
You gotta figure it out. What?
Is that a thing you encountered?
No, not really. I mean, I could have encountered it if I decided to try and go with like the latest encoders, but then I was like, no. And I think that was the right decision. But no, there are new encoders.
If I remember correctly, it's just like there's the one that works with my editing software and the one that doesn't, and will require additional processing. And that makes the choice very simple.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, that's the difference between you and I, right? Like, you'll run into a problem and you'll opt for like you'll like accept it or like be like, oh, okay, well, there's, you know, this is just gonna be how it is, I'll have to solve it. The way that I face problems is I don't accept defeat at all. So if there's a technical problem that I believe should work, I will fucking throw as much money, time, and effort into it until it does what I think it should do. And, and
you just charge headlong into the
me.
problem, no matter how many new problems that are created in the process.
Yes.
What could go wrong? Everything, as it turns out.
Yeah.
You are the Thanos meme. But what did it cost? Everything.
But it works now.
But now I can wear webcam
now.
hats.
I can wear webcam hats. And they're fun. And I'm not wearing one right now because my face is still like puffy and not particularly great, which is apparently enough of an excuse for me to not go put on a hat. Don't question my logic. I can feel you doing it right now, and I think it's very rude.
My face is puffy, therefore I cannot wear a hat.
Yes. I mean, have you ever tried wearing a hat when you got a puffy face?
I don't like hats.
Well, then that's twice the reason for you to not judge me.
Like, generally speaking, I just don't like to wear. I don't try to wear hats in any context, really. I just don't like them.
Right. So So you need to get off your fucking high horse and stop judging me because you don't even wear hats to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Plausible deniability or whatever.
Something about this isn't working the way I expected it to, which is wrong because everything should always work the exact way I expected it to.
All the time.
Yes. Now this is really weird.
Let's see.
I wonder if it's like the belts are messed up or it's an issue with the constructors. No, this constructor's fine. Constructor's fine. This constructor's fine. Yeah, one of our splitters for screws does everything perfectly, and the other does not, and I don't really understand what the difference between them is.
There we go. That was stupid.
Like, the screw throughput, or the screw put, as I like to call it, is just not. It's not correct.
Is one of them like lagging behind while the other one's just chugging all continuously, just going away?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, you mean on do you mean on the hardened iron plate platform?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one does look spaced out.
So we have 3 going into this boy, which then splits to 2, which then... Oh, this is weird. Why is this set up this way?
Does it have an extra split in the process or something?
No, it's just like... I think that
oh my God.
You threaded this thing into it, which I didn't expect.
All these boxes.
Yeah.
So you have to be defeated.
These 3.
Let's see. Oh yeah, I went and increased the number of things producing screws, but I didn't have like a path, so I awkwardly had that sky bridge path.
I see.
That brings those screws over.
Yeah, this is...
Let's see.
Helping, I guess. It's a little funky.
There is a glut of screws. We could definitely move screws faster if we had another lane. Because the fact that they're stopping it all means that they're backed up. The question is whether any of the stuff that they're fueling actually is slowing down because of screws. Because if nothing's ever stopping because of screws, they are?
Yeah. So we have these 3 that are feeding into this one.
Also, these ones are slow. Also, these 2 are slow. How many of these are slow? That one's slow. That one's slow. That one's slow. That one's slow.
All right. Yeah, I mean, if you want to make them all fast, that might also just solve the problem by way
of... That's why I think that's why they're slowing. I think that's why they're suddenly spaced out on one side, is because they're coming through slowly.
Oh, you think that the consumer belts are 2s and producer belts are 1s, so it's getting all the fucky?
Let's see. Well, if stuff's moving at 2 speed and then suddenly hits 1 speed at some point, then everything down that point will still be at 1 speed. Like when it goes back up to 2 speed, it'll be moving 2 speed, but it'll be spaced out.
Oh, you're totally right. Okay.
So I think I got them all. That might have been it. Because stuff looks backed up as fuck around here.
Yeah. This is looking a lot better immediately. So that might have just been the only thing that was required.
Yeah.
Let me go to the reinforced iron floor.
We'll slowly replace every single track in this entire base with 2s. Just they're hard to spot.
And then we get to do it all over again with 3s.
Yeah. I think one of them is like... do they look different? Here, this is 2 next to each other. Trying to compare them. Oh, that's interesting.
What?
So the 2s have a taller bronze fin. You know the rail around on the sides. It's like 50% of the height of the width of the height of the track. It's half bronze and half ironly looking. The 1s have a much shorter thing. It's like 1/3 bronze. But also noticeably, it looks like... This is actually the most noticeable thing probably, is that if you see a track that has 1 light per segment, that's a 2. If it has 3 lights per segment, it's a 1.
Okay,
so it's like just it's just a weird detail. Those white lights on the sides of the tracks, there's 1 per chunk on a 2, and there's 3 little ones on a 1. I'm like, that's a weird detail. You would wish they would just be different colors.
Yeah. So I think that I'm noticing what you're talking about, right? Like up here in the reinforced iron thing, a lot of these belts in are all Mark IIs, which is why everything looks really spaced out.
Yeah. The ideal is to start all the way back at the beginning of the entire process and replace everything with 2s.
Yeah, but
also,
on the other hand...
Also, it's fun to get anything actually done eventually instead of just going back and redoing everything you've done so far. So, it's a process. A lot of stuff... We still don't... We definitely don't have anywhere near, like, infinite heavy plates. So on a regular basis, we... it's just when you're trying to make everything connect and you just want it to work. It's just easier to hook it up with ones because you have like we have like infinite regular plates. It's so easy to have them.
Right, exactly. Like we can just we can make little prototypes of the yeah, I think we also need to make sure that we're replacing the conveyor lifts, right? Like those have to be Mark 1,
yeah,
Mark 2, Mark 3?
I tried to get all of those.
Okay.
In particular, I think I put in the Mark 2 conveyor belt as the only one on my toolbar. I'm trying not to make ones for lifts anymore. Or so is my hope.
Can you not replace them the same way you can replace...
Yeah, you just click on them.
Oh.
It might be possible to fuck up and rotate it or something, and then it comes out facing the wrong way on one side. But if you just click, I think it directly replaces it.
Yeah, I think that's what was happening. Was it looked like it was words fail me.
There's modular frames.
It looked like it was like rotating weirdly. Okay.
This is wow, that's brutal. So the modular frames make 2 modular frames. The devices make 2 modular frames at a rate of, so it makes them it just spits out 2 at once. But the output speed is 2 parts per minute. That means it finishes 1 bar and creates 2 every minute.
Yeah,
holy shit.
That's gonna require some scaly scales.
Yeah, it's gonna need some scaling. I'm still trying to make sure that the reinforced iron's even reaching it at a rate that's workable.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the math isn't as simple as I thought. Like where, you know, if you had a machine that produced 30 and you have a consumer of the 30, you know what I'm trying to say? Like it would, well, yeah, I don't know what's up. Some of these machines, I'm tracing them through and I thought that they would be like perfect. They're not. I don't know why.
Well, the one you're looking at right now is definitely backlogged fully. This one's backed up. This one's good too.
What I'm looking at right now is not. It started
iffy.
at 100, and it's slowly been dipping down.
Oh, it's dwindling?
Yeah. Both these 2 on the right are dwindlers.
And these 2 on the left are both on the cusp of running out of screws. Like they're not getting interrupted right now, but they're not getting like backlogged up to having like 100 screws in them.
That's probably fine. That's what we want, right? We want it to be just correct.
We want them to have too many resources, if only because we want to make more of these machines, because right now they're not making them very fast.
Fair.
So if they were backlogged, then we would know that it's safe to make another machine to eat up all that excess. Because right now we're still trying to make sure these 4 run well, but our rate of making iron plates is not great still. I guess between the
weird. Like the ones on the.
So I guess we're making 20 per minute right now.
The ones on the left are like perfect, and the ones on the right are not. And I can't tell what the difference is because it's just limited to the iron plates. Let me check something. So this consumes 30 iron plates per minute, and a single iron plate pooper should produce
1 single pooper of plates.
A single poop man produces
The Dr. Mick Poopington.
Oh crap.
Did you get your math wrong?
Bucket. It consumes 30 iron ingots per minute, but it produces 20. I did my math wrong. I apologize. I was probably on painkillers at the time.
This is
I was in tremendous
choice
pain.
right here.
Yeah.
Fix that. Oh, I saw you had 3 on the slow side. You had 3 tracks of screws feeding into 1 merger, and then that was going into 1. Then that was all being combined into 1 track, then going into a splitter. It's like just don't merge them at all. Just keep them separate, and then there won't be the bottleneck of that 1 track in the middle.
Well, no, I think that's what we want. We want 3 to come together to get 120.
That's the side that's going too slow.
Well, now the main problem is actually just the the iron plates. So if I fix the iron plate production, then this will be fine. So a reinforced iron requires 30. So that means that to do, say, let me get my notes out. Otherwise, I'm going to have to remember all this.
Rack's freaking out. Okay.
That means that the least common multiple of 20 and 30 is going to be 60.
There we go.
So that means that we need to do we need to do 3 iron plates combined to 2 belts. Okay. To do 2. Okay, I think I started all this math, but then didn't finish it. So I can do that real quick.
See if that improved it. No! 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 Ow! We need an elevator.
Yeah.
I just want to go into a little capsule, say what floor I want to take it to, and those floors need to have little labels with names so I can tell what floor anything is.
I don't even know if that exists in this game.
God, I need it though. I need it so good bad. Wait, did I go to the wrong floor? Oh, fool. I just saw a bunch of screws and thought I was wrong. Oh, they're feeding in bigly. Oh, look at them going up. Oh, look at them going up. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I identified a bottle.
Children watching.
I identified a bottleneck and removed it. And the 2 on the left are just going up in number now. Beautiful. Because we have so many screws, there's no reason we should not be supplying them fast enough. It's because you had 3 tracks going into a merger, and then that track was splitting into 2 lifts.
Right.
So
to balance them.
So I'm just like feed it directly into it instead of bottlenecking it through 1 track's speed.
No, I think that you need to.
I mean, it's working.
Do that splitting.
We're good.
Okay.
We're big goodly. See. We're big old goodly in this. Let's see. We also might have so many outputs that you can just mathematically balance them instead of merging them into balancing. So every time you choke them onto one track, they're going to be limited to the speed of that 1 track even after you split them. 1, 2,
maybe.
3,
yeah, maybe,
4, 5,
maybe
6,
you're right,
7.
and I'm using the splitters and the mergers incorrectly then.
Let's see. Yeah, every time you use a merger, you're splitting, you're cutting the bandwidth of whatever resource you're using in half, or even down to a third if you use all 3 ports.
Right.
So it's good if you... I use them upstairs to merge together the outputs of all of the really hard to make resources, just so I can put them on 1 track to then spit them out into like a box or whatever. But the big throughputs, especially screws are high volume. Everything like they get produced in huge numbers and consumed in large numbers, so they're like a track test. Like they consume track, and like they just eat it up. And there's so many intervals of screws just taking up space. Being a problem.
Interesting. I'm just gonna keep an eye on this.
That's a merger. That's a
just to check my own understanding of how this game works, because I could be. You could be right. I don't know. I've attempted to do a similar like balancing thing for the iron plates in the far right side, so that should be balanced on iron plate inputs. Let me go upstairs and check. No. Oh, that could have been worse.
No, I'm
I need a fucking elevator. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, man. You're not watching, are you? Because if you're watching, it's gonna make me nervous.
Oh, I'm watching.
No, don't do that.
I'm watching everything. This is hard to parse.
Okay, so I did rebalance the 2, the iron plates. The iron plate belts using the splitters and the mergers, and it's coming in at a perfect rate now.
Good.
So I think that doing the splitting and merging thing does work. I'm just surprised that it doesn't work on the screws so much.
I think it's context specific, like how you applied it.
Maybe.
Because you can definitely unnecessarily restrict the rate at which things can transmit via mergers.
Maybe that's what was going on. Maybe I'll just go back and double check my math. Maybe I was high. Yeah, I'm starting to think that maybe me asking if we could play Satisfactory while I was on painkillers probably wouldn't have worked out super well. Maybe it was for the best that we didn't do that and I just watched Final Fantasy 14 instead.
There. I put another one on top? Shit. Yes. These are a process. God damn it. Just link to the thing I tell you to link to with my clicky face. I've had a
he says what with his clicky face.
Whip smack with his whippy tail. And the clicking was done.
You were saying something that wasn't a reference to a song?
I never. When would I do that? There's still so many more songs to do.
There's like 3, come on.
I've got to do every song. There's like 3 songs in existence, that's the argument you're making?
Yes.
Yeah, there's the 4-chord song, and Gangnam Style.
And Don't Stop Believing.
The other song ever made.
Yeah. Yeah, Oprah Gangnam Style.
Oprah Gangnam Style.
Yeah. Hi, sexy lady. Oprah Gangnam Style. 40 parts per minute. What?
Wasn't that a...
Damn it. Why are ladders the worst?
Yeah, they're really bad. We could put stairs in.
What?
But then we have to run in circles a bunch of times, and then it also sucks.
Yes. 60 per minute on screws.
Shit.
So these common multiple of No.
It always looks like I have a plan until it very abruptly falls apart.
You know that saying, when you make a plan, God looks at you and says, "Not today."
Not today. God looks down and says, "No."
God looks down and is like, "What the? What do you do? Don't even start with that.
Don't put that in your mouth. What do you have in your mouth? Drop."
I'm gonna eat these nuts.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I thought I saw 7.
Right.
All right. 1 merger, 2 merger, 3 merger, then the lone track, because we only have 7 screw machines. Screw machines. Hopefully that all gets improved. I didn't fuck everything up. Because I removed I removed as many excess as I could.
Okay, so if we have a screwmatron produces
a Google throw.
Wait a tick.
This is what I want to see. This machine has like 500 screws in it. Yes.
Hold on, there might be some bullshit that I missed.
Now they need more plates.
This might be some bullshit that I missed. So...
Did you mix up your inputs and your outputs? Because they're both listed.
No. When it says... I'm looking at the screws. When it says 4 screw, 40 parts per minute, does that mean that it's creating 160 screws a minute? Or does that mean it's creating 40 screws per minute?
I think it means 40. I think it's doing the math for you.
Do you think it's doing the math for
I don't
me?
think it means. I don't think it means it finishes that many packs or bundles.
Part.
I think it means that's just straight up what its output is.
I'm curious. I need to know. No,
you
the iron plate production.
At it and count.
I think the iron plate production looks like it's perfectly balanced now.
Yeah, I mean, but then we want more.
Okay, yeah, we do want more, but like these two on the right, like I think they're getting iron plates at the exact rate that they should be getting them. So they'll never like get more than they need, but they'll never have less than they need, you know?
Yeah.
Like they should be.
We're gonna make this whole fucking thing work. Especially if it doesn't want us to.
I'm really interested in seeing Satisfactory.
Oh, this isn't hooked up at all.
Let's see, Satisfactory math. Screws.
I see that our Rotor floor has all of its screws connections severed.
Yeah, that's probably somebody's fault.
Did you do that last session and then forget?
No.
We are making absolutely zero rotors. There's no screws. Every single piece of screw is currently disconnected from that floor. Oh. Okay. Well, the good news is downstairs things are backed up to like 500 screws, so we can divert. We can figure this shizzle, dizzle.
Cool. I liked it when you didn't say those words.
That's exactly why I said them. What is this weird nightmare? What happened to this floor? Who hurt it? Let's see. So I've been having a strange book experience.
Yeah.
I started reading House of Leaves, which is like this infamous metatextual long-ass novel that I've been putting off for a long time because it just seemed like a lot. Like I always, it's up there with a lot of the other like must-read type of things where I'm just like, but this manga's only 200 pages and has pictures.
So you're reading the House of Leaves manga adaptation?
No, I don't know how you would do that.
It would be weird and difficult. I mean, people tried with Yume Nikki, and that turned out terrible.
They did a manga adaptation of Yume Nikki?
Yeah, it's so fucking bad.
Like, that's like the wander around horror-ish game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a weird choice to make.
Yeah. It wasn't good.
Well, people do like to try to make money. They also tried to remake Yume Nikki, which, judging by the reviews, didn't go well either.
Well, I think people are being overly harsh on that remake. I think that it's a fine enough game. At any rate, House of Leaves. Wait, geez.
So it's already like a very strange
House of Leaves
thing, because like it's a book about a book that's about a movie that doesn't exist. Have you read House of Leaves?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you open up this fucking.
I mean, I never finished it, but I read little bits and pieces of it.
Yeah. You open up with this like baffling metatextual thing where it's like I had a neighbor once and he died, and then he was like all locked up in his room and obsessing over his manuscript, and then I read it and I'm like, it's kind of boring. I don't really give a shit. But then then I kept reading it more. Then slowly it's like suddenly now I'm getting obsessed with it. And then there's you're reading his perspective about this book, but there's another layer, which is that apparently the fucking editors are also running this thing, so there's a third metatextual layer of the editors. But then there's the weird layer, which is that and one of the weirdest parts is that the fucking manuscript itself is a it's like a script for a video essay, like it's a media analysis book that's novel length about a thing that doesn't exist. Like, not only does the movie not exist in our world, it doesn't exist in their world. Like, for them, it's not real. And I'm like, fuck, this is a hell of an intro. But that's just that's just about how House of Leaves is fucking weird, and I'm really interested in seeing where it goes. But no, my weird book experience was that I opened up the first page, and the heading for the first chapter is a quote from my favorite Beatles song, "A Day in the Life." So it's like, I read the news today, oh boy. I'm like, that's a funny coincidence, but whatever. It's just a song I like that's popular anyway, so who cares? Got a little weirder. A little later, they explain when the film that this is all about was filmed. It was filmed in April to 1990. My birthday. Like, original birthday. And I'm like, alright, this is getting weirder. I think there was like a media thing that was mentioned on like the first page that was also weirdly specific, but I forgot what it was. But no, here's where it got even weirder, because I'm already like, okay, that's a little fucking weird about how the movie was filmed on the day the month I was born in real life. But then in chapter 2, the characters in the movie that the book is recapping say that their water heater went out. And our water heater was out. And then it's a lot of coincidences so far, but that's really funny. But that's really specific. How often does your water heater go out? Like, we were literally replacing the entire water heater. Like, that's never happens. But then he does this big long story and then gets back to that, like, yeah, it's weird how the story said the water heater was out, and then my water heater was out, right? Because in the book, the guy that's responding to the book also had his water heater out at the same time that the story had his water heater out. But then he reveals that he actually added the word water to the story. The movie actually just said heater, not water heater. So then he's fucking with you. He's making fun of you for thinking the two were related. Meanwhile, it's in my head, I'm like, is it related to the fact that it happened in my world? And I'm like, what the fuck? Nice. How is this like double, triple meta? Like, I'm only in chapter 2. It's like, that's not the intention of the book.
That's pretty funny. That game, that book already kind of fucks with you, so you got like an extra dose.
My life fucked with me by mirroring the book in a fucking weird way. It's so fucking strange.
No, I like it. I don't own a copy of House of Leaves, but basically my experience with that book is I went to a bookstore. They had a rack of House of Leaves. Oh, God. That was unexpected. They had a big like rack full of like House of Leaves. This is maybe it was new, or maybe just had like a new edition or something like that. And I opened it up to a random page, and it was like a collage or like a fucking like I don't even remember what I saw, but you know how maybe you haven't gotten that far into the book, but
one of the first things you do when you get a copy of House of Leaves is you open up to random pages and then be really confused by what you see, because you'll see like and you'll see like a bunch, you'll see a page that looks like a newspaper, and then you'll see a page that looks like the shape of an X, but the X is made of text. And then you'll see a page where it's like somebody typed something with a typewriter and then used the same page again, so they typed over their previous typing with two separate things. It's like the whole middle of the book is like, I don't know what this is, and I don't know how this will make sense when I get to it.
Yeah, totally. No, that was my experience with reading it, and
there's a bunch of pages with one line of text on it or less.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have the remastered full color edition?
Oh yeah, that one's pretty nice, because like some of the words themselves will have color associated with them, and like if you read them, you'll get like different meanings based off of that.
I'm just wondering if they're fucking with me, basically, because it's like the remastered fully colored edition, and it's like the word house will appear in blue. So the cover of the book says House of Leaves, and the house is blue. And then throughout the entire book, every time anyone says house, including compound words like housewife, the house part will be blue. And that's it. Like, that'll be the only color on the entire page, is just the word house being colored in over and over again. And it's like, what is this accomplishing? It's a strange story.
Yeah, it's presented very interestingly. The story itself, the narrative is pretty good. Based off of what I've heard from people that have read it. So I'm sure if you stick with it, you'll find that it'll be you know.
Chad is saying that chapter 5 is going to contain a picture of me and the address at which I'm reading the book. Okay, so things have improved. That's good.
That's good.
The layouts are improved. Editing.
It hardly ever happens.
Here we go. Oh, but the reinforced. More reinforced plates being made more fasterly.
We're producing so very little of them.
I know.
They're just little itty bitty baby reinforced.
You can see every
plates.
individual delivery as it comes in. I need to figure out how to pump that up because this is the floor that's making the modular frames. And clearly it's slow. Oh, but we do have about 200 of them here. I'm going to grab the stack of 50 and I'm going to go over and jam it into our base because I need 50 there.
And that's how you're going to make the steel production?
Yeah, we need to do basic steel production. That's the next step. But
well,
unfortunately, our Rotor's floor was turned off, so we don't have 150 of those.
Well, while you do that, I'm going to read up a little bit on how to build Satisfactory, like, conveyor lines and stuff like that, because it is not what I expect. Like, you have to use splitters and mergers and stuff like that, but I'm clearly using them wrong, so...
You just have to math out the rates to figure out how they work. Because if you merge 2 tracks into one with a merger, then you're cutting the bandwidth in half, which fucks with your math.
Right. So what I was doing was I was merging 3 screw belts into one line and then splitting it to get 60 and 60. But apparently that's wrong. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to split 1 and then merge 20 with 40 to get 60. So you have a splitter and then mergers on either side. So instead of doing what I was doing, where I was dividing from a big number to get to the right balance, it's more you have to do additive stuff. So does that make sense?
No, but only because I didn't follow.
Okay. So I think the way it works is if you
I'm more of a doer.
If you have say 2 machines that need 60 screws a pop, that means that you need 120 screws in total, so you need 3 screw poopers.
Screw poopers.
So the way that I did that was I merged 3 belts together to get 1 belt that was supposed to have 160 throughput.
I just made the rest by hand.
And then splitting it into 2 60s, which is incorrect. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to split one of the 40s into 2 20s, and then merge a 40 and a 20 to get a 60. So you don't divide from big numbers.
You split before you merge.
Exactly. You don't divide from big numbers. You add up.
Because if you split
your targets,
it makes sense. Because if you split conveyors, you're not reducing the rate at which the resource is delivered. You're only making each individual track after the split less efficient because it's less used. It's like it has more capacity than you're using.
You're correct there.
And then you merge them back together without ever falling below the original limit, and so then you never constrain them. Yeah. Because you were before you were merging before you were splitting, which meant you were, no matter how much efficient navigation you made later, you were still dealing with a source where no matter all the splits were dealing with having been at one point up the chain restrained to 1 track, and so it could never be better than the bandwidth of 1 track.
I think that you're exactly correct there. So now that I know that, this should work really well.
Learning.
I don't know. Maybe that's more obvious for other people, but like for me, that's like
no, this game's a process.
Kind of a revelation. Yeah.
There's a bit of an irony in that the giant building was kind of designed so that we'd have more space to build, but at the same time, it constantly kind of constrains how much we can fit in this place. So then we keep trying to figure out how to make the stuff fit. Because you run out of space so fast.
It was a good idea. The problem is that we just didn't know how much
how big to make
space we're actually going to need.
Yeah. It's hard. We can always just expand each floor outward whenever we want to, because it doesn't have to have building codes or anything. But it's rough. Because the alternative was to have each sub-factory be in a different region of the world. And like send the resources back and forth, and that crisscross spaghetti would also be bad in its own way. These individual floors are nice. I definitely want to figure out some kind of fucking way to like say which one's which.
Yeah, that would be great. I'm just kind of figuring it out by memory.
I'm gonna check out the store again. Okay. Does the store list signs? Let's see, walls, wall mounts, foundation pillars, a sweet cart.
Sweet cart, bro.
Stairs.
So we have 20 on this one, and then 30. Yeah, this is kind of cool. Split before you merge is like definitely the way to do it.
Really not signs in this game?
Yeah.
There
aren't any signs in this game.
We have 12 coupons. I'm going to print those out and redeem some stuff with them.
Okay.
Get stairs. That might be less annoying than some of the other stuff we've been dealing with.
Over here. There we go. Now we should have those sexy
Let's get a normal ladder
coming in at exactly the right rates. Oh, they're perfect. Oh, they're perfect. Oh, I figured it out. Okay. Now I'm gonna go down to the screw town, and I'm gonna
going
apply my
down to
knowledge.
Screw Town.
Hell yeah, man! All right, you're not invited to Screwtown. It's a solo trip to Screwtown.
Solo, no one's invited to Screwtown. It's just me and me, lonely in Screwtown. So that's all that's happening.
Big trouble in Little Screwtown, am I right?
I really hope there's something better than using a paint gun.
Ooh, a fixed-o-matic coffee cup.
Yeah, I got a coffee cup. It's mine. You can't have it. Gonna have a cup though. There you go.
Well, that's fine. I didn't want coffee anyway.
Does it give me... Does it give me health? Wait, can I not drink the coffee? Because I'm wearing a helmet? Ow.
That would make sense.
What floor are you on?
Screw floor. I'm in Screwtown, remember? Big trouble in Little Screwtown? We've been over this.
What does this animation look like? Get off the... There. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
It kind of looks like you just are putting it up to your face and then nothing is happening.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, that's like what's happening, because the water level's not moving.
Yeah.
I just put it up to my face.
Wait, hold on. I think your hand is like also clipping into it. Yep. Your pointer finger is clipping into the brown.
Sweet, dude. All right, well that didn't work out.
Yeah.
We do have stairs now. And
yeah.
It's gonna be interesting trying to figure out how to make this work. Can I make them taller? No?
Are you... Oh, you are... Oh, you did research stairsies. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
Just pour coffee on your helmet. Yeah, if he does that, then he's gonna look like a fishbowl.
We also have just ladders now, so we can make ladders instead of using the conveyor stacks. Which at least let's just put them around the wall. Still kind of weird. Hmm.
So Oh my god, how the hell am I gonna understand? Oh, Jesus Christ, this little, like,
how's that going for
that's
you?
coming in from the side land is, like, so difficult for me to understand. It's just, okay, it's just a regular, what the hell is it doing? You made it go back up just to make it go back down.
Who did that?
The snakes and ladders board is, like, easier to understand than what the hell I'm looking at here. Okay, we're good. We're good.
What are you talking about that went up to come back down?
It's like your little side screw belt.
All the things I did for a reason. Are you talking about that one last one that has to go, like, up into space to get around the side of the building?
Yes, that one.
Yeah, it's just a regular output. Yeah. It's just shaped funny.
I know.
They had to make a trip.
But it was confusing and strange, and I didn't like it.